Hi, welcome to the Book Nook with Squirrel and I. We are celebrating Minnesota lakes. I love going to the lake, don't you? And it's most fun if you can click on those listening ears and use your scientist eyes. So many things to hear and see at the lakes. Before we get started, Squirrel came up with a surprise. Our last book happens to be about loons and listening to the loons, and we just thought it'd be fun for you to hear a loon call before we start. Thank you, Squirrel, for the idea. Here we go. Squirrel's going to help. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Squirrel. We'll turn that off and get started reading. What did you think? I hope that inspires you to stay for all the stories. The first one is going to be Scoot, and there's an art project at the end because she is also the illustrator. The second one is a local author, Joyce Sidman, poetry, all having to do with water. And the last one that we just talked about, Loon Lake. It's a longer, very special one. Hope you can stay for all of them. But even on those weeks where you can only do one, we love to have you. Here we go. Scoot. You might just also see a cat scooting around. His name is Scout. I'm very excited. We adopted him, so he will probably be joining us sometimes, and I hope everyone welcomes him and waves at him. It'll make him feel great. Here we go. Down at the pond on a sunny summer day, 6 silent turtles sit still as stones. See that? Green frogs leap and beetles creep, finches perch and herons lurch. Do you see the funny part of that picture? Right there. Frog legs sticking out of the water. I like that part. Flicker, flutter, scamper, scoot on every rock and leaf and root. Hi, Scout. But the 6 silent turtles sit still as stones. Wood ducks glide and water striders slide, salamanders dash and tadpoles splash. Wriggle, waggle, scuttle, skim on every reed and stone and limb. But the 6 silent turtles sit still as stones. Spiders swing and dragonflies zing. Red squirrels hurry and chipmunks scurry. What do you think's going to happen next? We'll see. Whoa, hustle, hover, flitter, flee on every branch and shrub and tree. Can you see? But then strong winds blow. Whoosh. Pond waves grow. Really big. What's going to happen to those turtles? Oh no. Fern fronds rustle and butterflies bustle, and the 6 startled turtles, oh, I bet they were startled, suddenly speed away. Down at the pond on a sunny summer day. The end. Next one, I need my readers for. It's a little bit smaller print for this old lady. So, Song of the Water Boatman and Other Pond Stories. The first one I picked for you is about the wood duck family. I hope you see a wood duck family this summer at the pond or lake. Spring splashdown. There we go. Okay. Peck, peck, crackle, crackle, fluff, fluff, wiggle, wiggle, snooze, snooze. Mommy's calling. Peep, peep. Scramble, scramble, hop, hop. Teeter, teeter. Peek, peek. Water sparkling. Deep breath. Leaping, leaping. Splash down. Bobbing, bobbing. Heads up. Paddle, paddle. Mom near. Follow, follow. I like that. Okay, you guys know, I've told you before, I love dragonflies, and this is the time of year they're everywhere. Hopefully you're seeing them too. Fly, dragonfly, water nymph, you have climbed from the shallows to don your dragon colors, perched on a reed stem all night, shedding skin. You dry your wings in moonlight. How magical is that? Night melts into day, and swift birds wait to snap you up. Fly, dragonfly, fly. And the last one is about the heron. Isn't that a beautiful picture? Here hunts the heron, queen of the pond, that spears the fish, that swallows the frog, that gulps the bug, that nabs the nymph, that drinks the flea, that eats the algae green and small in the depths of the summer pond. I can't wait for you to visit the library so you can come in and finish reading all of these wonderful poems. Okay, our last one, Loon Lake. Rainbird, rain goose, call up a storm. These are names native people of the north give to the loon. That is what Papa tells me. We watch the sun sink, setting fire to the clouds, and we hear a loon's call. I cup my hands around my mouth, and I try to make the loon's crazy yodeling laugh. Across Loon Lake, Loon laughs back. Just like what we heard. I've never seen a loon up close. It's getting late, but we set out to find him, and we ease our canoe into the quiet northern lake as the full moon rises and spills a bright path on the dark water. We dip the blades of our paddles, dip, glide, and we slide through the moonlight near the shore. There's an old story Papa says about how Loon got his white necklace. I keep paddling and I listen. An old man had lost his sight and asked for Loon's help. Papa says, Loon was a magical bird and gave sight back to that old man. And for this, says Papa, the old man gave Loon his precious shell necklace. The white shards of shell adorn his feathers to this day. You see that? In the moon shadows, we see something move, the slightest ripple. I stop paddling, and so does Papa. Our canoe glides, and the something is gliding with us. What do you think it is? It's an otter in his shiny nose and whiskers, arrow towards shore. I glance back at Papa, and he puts a finger to its lips. We see a quick gleam of moonlight on fur as Otter slithers out of the water and into the low brush. Do you see him? Right there. Again, something moves in the shadows. do you think it is? Again, just a nose and whiskers, dragging a soft ripple. Buck teeth in the moonlight. Beaver slaps his tail and goes under, and we start paddling. Something else moves in the shadowy water. A loon, I whispered to Papa. A rainbird. Slow, slow, we paddled toward the loon, but before we know it, he's gone. I see him right up there. There, he rests in a nest of stars on the still water. We try to paddle closer. Dip, glide. But whenever we get too close, Loon quickly dives quietly and bobs back up in another spot. See, right down there, he's diving. Now I glimpse him floating behind a screen of reeds. We paddle toward him, silent as the moon. He rears up and he shakes his head, flaps his wings, then settles back down. 50 feet, 40 feet, 30 feet. At 30 feet, we stop paddling. Do you notice something in that page? Do you see little loons? I wonder if they're going to come out. Suddenly, Loon glides out, followed by another, and another, and another. A family, I wanted to shout, but I don't. Instead, I hold my breath. Whoosh! The loon family takes off, running on water, their splashes flashing white in the moonlight. Oh, I breathe deep. And we run back toward camp. And we turn back towards camp. It's a lot of excitement, isn't it? After supper, around the campfire, Papa whittles a sharp stick and hands it to me. I spear a marshmallow and I hold it over the flames and imagine Loon and his family. I love s'mores too, don't you? Just then, Loon's wild, eerie wail pierces the night, just like we let you listen to. I glance up and I see a dark cloud passing across the moon. Rain tonight, says Papa. Later, we curl up in our sleeping bags and we listen to Loon's haunting cry and to the first drops of rain as they tap against our tent. Rainbird, rain goose, call up a storm. Good night. And this last page talks all about loons that you can see when you come into our library someday. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoy your lake time. Until we see you next week. Squirrel, do you want to say bye? We hope Scout joins us next week. Bye. Have a great week.